Does the Zack Snyder cut of Justice League exist? It is an argument that has been brewing for months. Fans have taken to the web to voice their anger, and they demand to be taken seriously. And no, we are not talking about the current petition to remake The Last Jedi, and yes, that is a thing that even Rian Johnson jokingly wants. No, we are talking about the fan outrage over the missing Zack Snyder cut of Justice League. Snyderites are still trying to convince anyone, to release the alleged cut of Justice League that supposedly existed long before Joss Whedon took over directing duties for the DC team-up flick, which, according to sources, was a 3-hour cut and only included the principal photography and none of the reshot footage. Now, despite being told last fall that the mythological cut simply does not exist, fans have persisted, taking to all the various social media outlets to trumpet their cause. And just this last weekend, they even took their quest to AT&T, the soon-to-be new owners of Warner Brothers, harassing customer service reps to release the Snyder cut. Even though we gotta hand it to these fans for being informed as to which corporate giant currently controls things, because that is impressive, maybe, just maybe, the AT&T customer service line isn't exactly the right place to formally lodge your Snyder Cut requests. But despite all of the denials from the Warner Brothers camp that a Snyder Cut exists, it turns out that they may have been less than forthcoming, because now we're hearing from an artist who's worked on many DC films, including Justice League, that there is, in fact, a full Snyder Cut. This last weekend, Justice League storyboard artist Jay Oliva tweeted, "Zack isn't the kind of director who creates the film in the edit bay. It's all planned out meticulously from beginning to end. That's how MOS and BVS was done," adding, "Everything was shot that was storyboarded, and that it may not be 100% polished, but all of the planned scenes were shot and edited into a full timeline." As for the visual effects, Oliva offers this up: "Of course, there are still VFX that is unfinished, but I never inferred that the film was 99% done. Rather, that Zack's vision was all shot except for a few reshoots planned." So does this mean that the Snyder Cut does in fact exist? Well, if Jay Oliva says is true, then yes. An assembly cut of Zack Snyder's version of Justice League does exist. Yes, it's minus a few reshoots that Zack wanted, and obviously would need an entire team to add in the special effects, but it sounds like some timeline of his film is out there. But the big question remains, would Warner Brothers ever release this cut? While there's always a possibility that the angry fans could convince the WB that they must release his OG cut, considering how much behind-the-scenes drama Warner Brothers has had with the DC Cinematic Universe of late, we aren't going to hold our breath. Now, it is worth noting that there is precedent for releasing a different cut of a DC film that was not finished by its original director. Back in 2006, we got the Richard Donner cut of Superman 2, which was a Donner-supervised alternate cut of the film. Richard Donner was taken off the film back in 1977, and it was completed by another director, so fans still hoping for a Justice League Snyder cut can look to Superman 2 to help plead their case. At the end of the day, it would be super expensive to restore the film back to the original Snyder plan storyboard, finish all the visual effects, and then add in its post-production elements, but doing so could help show the fans that DC is still listening to them, and if the Snyder Cut is bad, then maybe DC and WB could show the fandom exactly what they're missing. Nothing. But what do you folks think? Do you think the Snyder Cut exists? And if so, will it be released sometime in the future? And do you really think AT&T reps care about releasing a cut of the film? No, they don't! Let's discuss. Be sure to like, subscribe, and mash that little bell to get notified every time we drop a video, like today with the latest episode of Animation Investigation, where Hector Navarro is figuring out if Ash Ketchum is the worst Pokemon trainer ever. The answer may surprise you.